apologize. I truly owe you an apology because I fully expected for part 2 of this Get Ready With Me to come out within just a few days of part 1. But several things happened. Number one, I told you in that video that I had not been feeling well. Thought I had maybe a mild case of vertigo. Well, for 2 or 3 days after I filmed that video, I felt fine. It was like all the symptoms were gone, and I thought I was over it. And then I woke up, I guess on a Wednesday morning, and I had the dizziness and the spinning really bad in that ear, and then I was somewhat dizzy and a little bit nauseous. Not really much, just, you know how it is when you just sort of know it's there, but you ignore it. Well, I thought, okay, it's time to go to the doctor, but because of the dizziness, I did not want to drive. So Jim was on the golf course. He plays golf super early in the morning, and that particular morning, he left before I got up. They get off first thing, so he's usually home by 10:30. So I thought I'll just wait until he gets home and then let him drive me to the doctor. We go to the doctor, and she really checked me over, and she said, you know, you have a sinus infection and you have fluid behind your left ear. So she said, I don't know, you know, if you would really call it vertigo, but you definitely have a sinus infection and the fluid. She, you know, again, asked me if I was allergic to anything, and I told her not to my knowledge. And she prescribed me a penicillin called, I think it's amoxicillin. If that's not right, I'll put it here. And I'm sure I've taken that in the past. And she gave me Flonase and just told me to take that. I came home, Jim got the prescription, or they called the prescription in, and as it happened, it was ready pretty early. Jim went to get it, and it said to take it every 12 hours. And this was about, by then it was probably 1 o'clock. And I decided that I was going to wait until maybe 5 o'clock to start taking it, because that way it would be 5 p.m. and 5 a.m. I wouldn't have to get up in the middle of the night to take this. At 5, and it also said to take with food. So it was about 5 o'clock, and I had eaten a sandwich for lunch hours before that, around noon actually, and had snacked a little bit, just nothing big time, but I ate some fruit. I had some frozen strawberries and frozen blueberries that I had been eating off of for 2 or 3 days. So I made a big bowl of strawberries and blueberries frozen. I love just to eat frozen food or frozen fruit. I ate that, waited 10 or 15 minutes, and then I took the first pill. In about an hour and a half, I started vomiting. And it came on really fast, and it didn't stop. And I was up almost the entire night. I knew I was having a reaction to the penicillin. I was just vomiting. And it was just almost uncontrollable. And I know this sounds horrible and it's too much information, but I'm telling you this just so that you're aware. Always be aware of what you may be allergic to. I know I've taken amoxicillin before and didn't have any problems with it. The next morning, Jim called the doctor, and she said that quite obviously I was having a horrible reaction to that antibiotic, and she said that does happen, that you can take something, it's sort of like the peanut allergies. You can, you know, eat peanuts and eat peanuts and eat peanuts, and then one time when you eat them, you almost lose your life over it. So she told me to stop taking it immediately, and she would call in a different antibiotic. Jim went to get it, came back, and this was you only take once a day. And it was about, by then, maybe 3 or 4 o'clock that afternoon, and I took one. And of course, I felt horrible. He had also gotten me some Jell-O, which I'm not supposed to eat because I'm a vegetarian. Jell-O has gelatin, and gelatin is made from bones of animals. So as a vegetarian, that's not something I eat. But I knew I had to eat something that hopefully I could keep on my stomach. So I was drinking Sprite and eating Jell-O, but I could only take 2 or 3 bites of the Jell-O. I just wasn't hungry at all. Took the second antibiotic that afternoon, the first one, and I had been sleepy and laying around all day. Obviously, I was weak. I had nothing on my stomach, and I went to bed, and I would doze off, and I had this nightmare that was just crazy. And when I woke up, Jim came in the bedroom to check on me, and I told him about it. And here's what's funny, or not funny, but I rarely dream. I'm not a dreamer. If I dream, I don't remember it. Every once in a blue moon, I will have a nightmare. I would say maybe once a year. But what happens is I realize it's a nightmare in my dream, and I wake myself up, and then I don't remember what it was all about. But I remembered this nightmare, and I told Jim about it, and it was pretty scary. And you know, I got up and I sat in a chair for a little while. It was like I couldn't sit there. I got up and I would walk around just a few minutes. Then I'd go back to bed. I would doze off to sleep, and I had another nightmare. And this went on for about 2 days, 3 days. I would tell Jim about these nightmares. They were just bizarre. And you know, throughout this time, I couldn't eat. It was like I was hungry, but I would take a bite, and there was just no way I could take another bite of food. But I was just up and down and up and down. I would get up and I would try to walk to the kitchen maybe to get another Sprite, and it was like I'd have to turn around and go back and lay down or sit down. And so on Monday, Jim decided that I just insisted that he play golf because he had not played golf since this happened. And I told him, I said, I'm fine. Just go play golf. I'll be fine until you get home. So he left and went to play golf. And I got up and I tried to piddle around the house. And I walked over to our kitchen island where my medicine was and where the sheets were. And I thought, okay, I'm going to straighten this up right here. And I picked up the sheet that tells you all the side effects and all that. And it was like it just jumped off the page that this could affect your tendons, which I had none of those symptoms. But it also said it can affect your central nervous system. And if you're restless, that described how I felt since I started taking it. That was that you should stop taking it immediately. It also said that it could cause hallucinations, and I don't think I experienced any hallucinations, but it said you could experience nightmares and thoughts of suicide. Well, I did not have any thoughts of suicide, but obviously I was having major nightmares. Jim, of course, was on the golf course, and I was not due to take the next pill until about 3 o'clock, around 3 o'clock that afternoon. And I just decided, well, I knew immediately what all this was, why I was not getting any better, why I couldn't just get up and go. It was because I was having another reaction to medication. Needless to say, I took no more of it. Listen, the headache, the sinus infection, my ear, the vertigo was gone. I mean, I guess I got enough of both of the antibiotics in me that it was just gone. But I did stop taking that, and of course I have not had a nightmare since, and I'm getting my energy back. I'm starting to feel much, much better. I was felt like uploading the second part, the hair part of that last video for my part 2, and when I put it in my computer to edit it, it was horrible. The video, I mean, what I did, but the lighting was bad. I had to film it in this little bathroom. It's the only bathroom that we have that is halfway conducive to filming in. So it was just horrible. There's no way I could work with it. And I just haven't had the energy to get up and film any type of a hair video for you. So this morning I got up, I got in the shower, washed my hair, put my makeup on, and decided I would just film doing my hair. So this is that part 2, and that's a long story getting you to this point, but I wanted you to know where I had been and apologize for not getting that part 2 up, because like I say, I filmed the part 1 and then immediately came in here, set the camera, my light up, and filmed part 2, but it was just horrible. Here we go. Let me show you what I washed my hair with, and I'm going to tell you that I have the toughest hair in the world, and I can use anything on my hair. It doesn't matter. I can't tell a difference if I use expensive shampoos or if I use the drugstore. So this is what I'm using. I'm about halfway through with it. It's the Herbal Essence White Grapefruit and Mocha Mint Naked Volume Real Botanicals Shampoo. I hope the light's not shining on that too much, but that's the shampoo. And I'm using these very same thing, the Revitaliscent, but the same flavor, conditioner. Okay, so that's all I have on my hair. I have nothing else. I combed through my hair when I got out of the shower with a wide tooth comb, and towel dried it, and then wrapped it up in the little turby towel that I need to replace. So you can see my hair is wet. I love this stuff. I've tried some others, but I just keep going back to this. It's the L'Oreal Blow Dry Quick Dry Primer Spray. It says cuts dry time and gives heat protection. I'll list these below. Oop, got a shadow over my face. All right. Now it's a spray, and I will tell you that you can use too much of this, so be real careful. You don't need much. I'm using just short little spurts, and I'm going to comb it through. I love these combs. I have a couple of them. It's called Wet Look. I think I got these at Sally's several years ago. I want to get it all the way through. And then I'm going to dry it with this hair dryer. It's the only one I own. It's Gilbert, J-I-L-B-E-R-E, Titanium Tools, and I got this at Sally's probably 3 years ago, and it works just fine. It's not expensive at all. I'm gonna blow my hair in real time so that you can see how long it takes my hair to dry. And I have a lot of hair. My hair strands are very coarse. So I just go for it on high, and I'm gonna cut the volume off so that you don't hear this, and hopefully play you some nice music that won't be too loud either. It's dry. I'm going to use my little wet brush. I love this. Ooh, I need to clean it out. I'll do it later. But I use this for, it's my brush. I use it when my hair's dry. I use it when my hair's wet. How much time that took, but it was straight through. I did not stop the camera or speed it up. I wanted you to see just how fast my hair would dry using this. And again, like I say, you can use too much. I have used too much, and I tell you, it makes your hair real greasy. But my hair is dry. And this is no product other than this. So a lot of days I would not do anything, literally, because, you know, I'm in Florida. We're outside, we're at the beach, I'm at the pool. A lot of days I would just pull my hair back in a ponytail or clip it up with a banana clip and go. I don't need to do anything. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off the camera. I'm going to plug in my curling iron and let it heat up, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have some Velcro rollers, just big, and I think they're two different sizes, but I don't care. Doesn't seem to matter too much to my hair. And I'm going to use my hot roller clips. And the curling iron I am using is Hot Tools Professional, it says. I picked this up at Marshall's, I think. It was very inexpensive. Well, I do like the swivel handle, but this was less than $20, I think. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to grab my hairbrush and brush through one more time. And there's no rhyme or reason to this. It's just all going to be on big rollers. So I'm going to just take a clump and just hold it for a second or two. Some of you hairdressers out there are probably having heart attacks right now. My plastic Ziploc bag in my sink here is what you're hearing with those clips in it. I laid my brush down on it. So the back of it, I'm not gonna roll it. I don't have a lot of memories of my childhood, but the one memory I do have, vaguely, is my mother rolling my hair in these long curls. I think she did it with socks or rags. And there's no rhyme or reason to the direction. For just a minute. I might see if I have a mirror. Aha. Ooh. And it's dirty. Okay. Let's take it down. If I were going someplace, you know, I would go through all this. I do not brush it. I just play with my fingers. I can live with that. I could excuse me, I could pull it up. That's really all I would do to it. I've worn my hair this way, I mean, for so long. You want to try something fun? I ordered this product. Now, by the way, this is, I want to say this again, shampoo, conditioner in the shower, towel dried it, then I used the L'Oreal blow dry it, and nothing else on my hair. Nothing else. But about 6 months ago, I saw this either on Home Shopping or QVC. This is by the guy that used to own or have Ojon, and then Ojon just sort of disappeared. I'm not sure what happened to it, but he has a new line, and this is called Tweaked by Nature, and he was using this. It's like a texturing, well, it is a texturing paste on women with short hair, but he also had a couple of women with hair as long as mine, if not longer. And he was showing what you can do with this with long hair, and I thought that could be so much fun. So I ordered it, and I don't use it very often because let me tell you, when you see this, just take a tiny little bit, it's maybe 1/4 of an inch, and rub it in your hands. And then just scrunch it in your hair. I mean, this stuff is just wild. Is that crazy? I'll list this below too, but if you have, especially if you have short hair, fine hair, thinning hair, you just need more volume in your hair, I encourage you to try a texturizing paste. It doesn't have to be this one. I'm sure there are many really good ones out there, but I mean, this is going to last me forever because I use such a small amount, and I use it maybe once a month, not very often. And I would take my hairspray. I use the Tresemme Firm Hold number 4. I've been using it for years. It's my favorite hairspray. But look at that. Texas hair, big hair. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will. And hit the little bell notification so you will be notified every time I post a new video. Know that I love you. Don't forget to go out and be kind. Just be kind today, okay? I'll see you soon. Love you.